Think Different TV, live every Monday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Hosted by me, your girl Ashia. Join me as I discuss social topics, spotlight independent artists, and share financial tips. Join the conversation. I want to hear what you have to say. Think Different TV, where minds meet. You're the reason I wake up, the reason I smile.
Me and Big Daddy Kane went to the same high school together. We went to Sarah J. Hill High School in Brooklyn, and he was battling this other dude in the lunchroom, and I don't remember the whole rhymes that Kane was said, but I remember him saying, "I got braids in my hair just like Stevie Wonder." So when I heard that line, I was like, yo, this guy's kind of dope. And that's how I first met Kane, like, you know, in the lunchroom at Sarah J. Hill High School. And
legendary hip-hop producer Rico Wade has passed away at the age of 52. Rico Wade has worked with some amazing artists such as Outkast, Goody Mob, TLC, Killer Mike, and many more.
A heroic teen was stabbed to death while defending his girlfriend at the mall. 14-year-old Bobby Maher's girlfriend called him saying she was being followed by two boys. The brave teen showed up to protect her, telling the boys he didn't want to fight. In unreleased footage, he said, "That's not fair," when they pulled out a weapon, to which one responded, "I don't play fair."
An Air Force civilian contractor lost her life last year, and the investigation surrounding their passing is over. The passing of an Air Force civilian contractor last year who walked into the moving propeller of a drone was due to the contractor losing situational awareness, according to the final accident investigation report. Investigators with the Air Force Material Command also found that in the rush to complete testing, supervisors skipped key parts of the safety briefing dealing with how to work around the aircraft when its engine was running. The contractor, Stephanie Cosme, passed away on September 7, 2023, while conducting telemetry readings on an MQ-9 drone at Gray Butte Airfield in California. The team of civilian contractors were working into the evening on ground tests on the drone when Cosme walked straight into the spinning propeller of the MQ-9, seriously injuring her. Crews and eventually emergency responders tried to help her. She was airlifted to a hospital but passed away soon after. She was 32 years old, and at the time Cosme was working for Samaria Systems, a contractor that was hired by the Air Force. The report from the Air Force Material Command Accident Investigation Board looked into the circumstances leading up to her passing and what could have been done to prevent it. It found that the situation worsened due to a clear lack of communication among the test team and ground support personnel, as well as rushed efforts by the team itself.
25-year-old Carlos Collins was murdered by his ex on Tuesday, April 9th. Marcus Johnson, age 33, was a former Jackson police officer and the ex of Carlos. According to his mother, he filed several restraining orders against Marcus.
Made after a Cape Coral teen was shot dead. Thanks for joining us here on Wink News at noon. I'm Nicole Gabe. Police just made that announcement in a press conference the last hour. This 16-year-old Thomas Steen is in the juvenile detention center charged with murder while engaged in robbery.
The convicted killer of Orange County kindergartner Aiden Leos got the maximum. Marcus Ariz was sentenced Friday in Santa Ana to 40 years to life.
And they're unrealistic.
LAPD confirms Danielle Johnson, a.k.a. Danielle Ayoka, seen here on the Scotty and Sylvia show, was an astrology influencer on social media who was concerned about the eclipse.
Eclipses, there's more births, there's more deaths.
Leading up to the eclipse on Monday, Danielle, who went by the handle Mystic X Lipstick, made several alarming posts like these. Wake up, the apocalypse is here. And the eclipse is the epitome of spiritual warfare. She also reposted alerts that signaled this is the final warning. Something big is coming.
This type of story is probably one of the most tragic and horrifying stories that we'll ever hear about.
Like the rest of us, clinical psychologist Dr. David Swanson, who never treated Danielle, is trying to make sense of this horrific tragedy. Just hours before the eclipse was to take place over California, Danielle stabbed her boyfriend to death in Woodland Hills, pushed her kids out of a moving car on the 405 freeway in the Westchester area, which resulted in the death of her 8-month-old baby and the injury of her 9-year-old daughter. Then Danielle died after crashing her Porsche into a tree in Redondo Beach.
She's gonna pay.
Barely speaking above a whisper.
This is justice for Sade.
And fighting back tears.
Who the would do something like this to my beautiful baby?
Sheena Scarborough.
She hurt nobody.
Was pushing forward for her daughter, 19-year-old Sade Robinson. Friday, Robinson's family sat in court and heard the grim details surrounding her death, while staring at the man accused of taking her life, 33-year-old Maxwell Anderson.
The allegations in the complaint are abhorrent. It was the highest level of violence imaginable.
Prosecutors say Anderson and Robinson were going on a date Monday evening on April 1st. The state says they went back to Anderson's Southside apartment around 9 o'clock, where they say he killed her between then and early Tuesday morning.
This is out of Australia. 6 people dead following a stabbing attack at a busy shopping center. 9 News, our CNN affiliate in Sydney, reports that one of the victims is a mother whose baby was also attacked. Witnesses described the moments that they jumped in and tried to help them.
Then the mother came with the baby, bleeding, stabbed, and we got them into the store and just got them safe and then rang for help.
And what did you use to help stop the blood?
Just from the shop. Just kept yelling out to get some clothes, get some shirts.
Wow, a police officer shot and killed the attacker. Several other victims are now in the hospital.
We're back with a career shoplifter adding another crime to her resume. This time she is swiping sunglasses and the latest high-price heist landing her behind bars. This is surveillance video of career shoplifter Ernisha Atmore at work using a cooler to scoop up designer sunglasses she has no plans to pay for.
She committed one of the most brazen thefts that I've ever heard of. She went into the sunglass hut at International Plaza and she had a soft-sided cooler. And she just scooped her arm and put about $20,000 worth of sunglasses into that cooler. And when the employee said, "What are you doing?" She said, "I have a taser." Well, a taser, as you know, is a weapon.
She was busted. They found some stolen goods in her car, which was collected in evidence bags.
Ernisha Atmore.
She has been in and out of prison for a string of theft convictions. As a repeat offender, she is now facing stiffer penalties and decades in prison. Prosecutors offering her a 3-year deal, but she rejected it. Instead, a jury convicted her, and she was sentenced to 30 years in prison.
Breaking news. A celebration marking the end of Ramadan at the Philadelphia Masjid turned life-threatening when a shooting occurred. People who attended the event, which had an estimated crowd of 1,000, quickly became witnesses and victims in one of Philadelphia's largest mosques. Chris spoke with witnesses at Presbyterian Hospital, where a 23-year-old man who was shot in the stomach was being treated. Among the witnesses was the victim's father, Corey Taylor, who shared his emotions with Chris during the interview. Overcome by anger and sadness, Corey rushed to Presbyterian Hospital after waking up to a call from his ex-wife that his son had been shot. Although Corey's son had been shot in the stomach, doctors reported that he was still responsive. In the face of this incident, Corey urged the city of Philadelphia to live as human beings and put an end to the violence.
Yeah, that's right, guys. Good evening to you both. An unbelievably disturbing series of events. It ended with that woman, the Lyft driver, waking up in a hotel room. She had no clue where she was. Her car was gone.
There was a Lyft driver who was giving a patron a ride to a local area restaurant.
Alpharetta investigators say that patron was 32-year-old DeMarcus Johnson. During the ride, they say Johnson and the woman driving for Lyft connected.
The two engaged in conversation, agreed to have a drink with one another, at which time the victim doesn't remember and is unable to account for the events that evening.
Cops say at some point on the night of March 11th, Johnson drugged her.
Her toxicology report came back with prescription narcotics that she's not prescribed and that she reportedly does not take.
Investigators say the victim woke up the next morning in a hotel room unfamiliar to her. Her car was gone, and so was Johnson, and police say she realized she was raped. Cops say they worked with Lyft, tracked down cell phone records, and retraced their moves that night.
We worked with Lyft, and then we also worked with local area restaurants and hotels that they visited throughout the evening.
Last Friday, nearly 4 weeks after the horrific ordeal, Alpharetta police arrested Johnson on charges that include rape, kidnapping, and aggravated assault.
Crime alert, a store clerk attacked. Police say a customer got into a heated confrontation with a CVS employee, then left the store, but things took a very violent turn when she came back, leading to 2 arrests. Local 10's crime specialist Bridget Matter joins us live from Miami to explain this story. Bridget.
Well, this violent confrontation all started over an argument over the morning after pill. Police say 2 people beat up 2 employees at this CVS. Wendell Sweetenberg and Shantria Pitts are facing strong armed robbery charges after a bizarre, violent confrontation involving the morning after pill Plan B. It happened at this Miami CVS at 4800 Biscayne Boulevard. According to an arrest report, this all started when a store clerk accused one of the suspects of trying to steal Plan B. The report says, quote, since she had opened the box, she has to purchase the medication. The defendant became enraged and began yelling that she has the money to pay and she's not a thief. Police say the woman paid for the medication but came back into the store with her co-defendant and began beating up the employees.
It all started when Curtis Jack got his co-worker pregnant. She told police Curtis tried to get her to terminate the pregnancy for the entire 9 months. Once she had the baby, she had to stay in the hospital. So she told the father to come pick up breast milk from her and take it to the baby at the grandmother's house. Curtis told police he put antifreeze in the milk because he didn't want to pay child support.
Hello, my name is Soraya and I'm 28 years old. I live in the Netherlands and recently my euthanasia request for my mental suffering got approved.
Zoraya Turabik is 28 and she expects to be euthanized in early May. She is one of a growing number of people across the West choosing to end their lives rather than live in pain. Pain that in many cases can be treated.
But if you know Tasha Page Lockhart, the clip is of her saying that she's having a really bad day, and then Larry Reed has contacted her and found out that she was sexually assaulted or groped by some gospel artist in front of another gospel artist. And Larry Reed is shocked and appalled at who the person is that she's talking about. But she has not released who this person was.
Of a children's bookstore in downtown Raleigh says her shop and family have been targeted by threats and she's closing the doors. Liberation Station opened on Fayetteville Street with this celebration on Juneteenth, less than a year ago. It was the first Black-owned children's bookstore in the Triangle.
Behind the door, Suite 201.
We have Gordon Parks, Langston Hughes.
A curated collection of literature lines the shelves, telling the stories of Black children and families.
It's not just a bookstore, it's a movement.
Victoria Scott Miller opened Liberation Station in downtown Raleigh last June after 4 years of pop-up book sales from the trunk of the family's car.
This is a community space. It's a communal sacred space. We begin receiving threats online and also through the phone. How are you revitalizing the city if you're forgetting the people that matter, that are marginalized?
Liberation Station here, meanwhile, will close April 13th.
For my second pregnancy, I went into labor early. And being in the hospital, and I told the nurse there that I was having contractions. And she looked at the machine and she said, "No, you weren't." And I said, "Yes, I am. I've done this before. Go get my doctor." And luckily, standing up for myself in that moment my daughter is here now. Because she went to get my doctor. My doctor said, oh, you're 6 centimeters dilated. Now we have to do an emergency C-section.
Wow.
But because I was so small, it wasn't showing up on the machine. And in that moment, I didn't really recognize when people weren't listening to me because I was young, because I'm black, and because I'm a woman.
Oh my God, neighbors, y'all gotta get in here and check this out. Jeezy reportedly wants full custody of his 2-year-old daughter with Jeannie Mai. In documents, Jeezy is claiming that Jeannie's family mostly takes care of their toddler due to her having an extensive work schedule.
Harry Potter author J.K. Rowling says she won't, quote, forgive live-action stars Daniel Radcliffe and Emma Watson for questioning her views on transgender people. I'll explain. Rowling, who has frequently argued online that trans women are not actual women, was being investigated by police for misgendering trans people under Scotland's new hate crime law. She has previously stated that she would rather go to jail than refer to a trans person by their preferred pronouns. Now Rowling has directly addressed her criticism from Harry Potter movie stars Daniel Radcliffe and Emma Watson about her controversial remarks about the trans community. After an X, formerly Twitter user tweeted, "Just waiting for Dan and Emma to give you a very public apology, safe in the knowledge that you will forgive them." Rowling responded, "Not safe, I'm afraid." Celebs who cozied up to a movement intent on eroding women's hard-won rights and who use their platforms to cheer on the transitioning of minors can save their apologies for traumatized detransitioners and vulnerable women reliant on single-sex spaces. This dispute all stems from Rowling's controversial tweet from 2020, when the author was met with backlash after calling out an article's use of the phrase, quote, people who menstruate. She responded, "I'm sure there used to be a word for those kind of people. Wumbin, Wimpund, Woomund." At the time, Radcliffe, who played the lead character in Harry Potter, wrote an essay for the Trevor Project as a way of showing support for the trans community, and apologized, quote, for the pain Rowling's comments have caused the Harry Potter fandom. Meanwhile, Watson wrote amid the controversy, quote, "I want my trans followers to know that I and so many other people around the world see you, respect you, and love you for who you are." However, J.K. Rowling has remained committed to her disapproving view on transgender people, and she said that she would not delete social media posts related to that.
Your kids' lunches today, you might want to hear this story. Lunchables may be a go-to for many students, but Consumer Reports is calling on the U.S. Department of Agriculture to remove them from the National School Lunch Program. The watchdog group tested 12 store-bought versions of Lunchables and similar snack kits from other brands. It found relatively high levels of sodium and even lead.
I don't have a boyfriend. Check page. I don't read tabloids in general.
Found out who Shawty really was, I just stayed quiet. I shared my tears because I was like, dang, I ain't know that shit really exists, that people lie about who they are. I ain't know that really exists. I thought that was like, and married people, and that shit, like I seen that shit on movies, mama. I seen that on movies. I seen that shit on movies. So yeah, I get mad when I think about that shit. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, how you go into a whole relationship and then you ask people, like, you sitting around family members and you can hear the shit, they having stories and shit. And I'm like, damn, well, we the same age. Like, she was like a mature 4-year-old because I ain't know about none of that shit when I was 4.
Valerie Bertinelli slams Food Network. It's not about cooking and learning anymore. Thank you. She goes on to say, I fell in love with Food Network 2 decades ago because of all the amazing In the Kitchen shows. 30-Minute Meals, Ina, Jada, the list goes on. I learned so much. It's sad it's not about cooking and learning any longer. Oh well, that's just business, folks. Consumers aren't learning anything from Food Network because no one in their right mind is going to be handed a basket full of halibut and Cheetos and having to make dinner. And that's why this app is my version of television, because I can come on here and see a 90-year-old Italian grandmother giving her family cavatelli recipe. Don't get me wrong, I love Guy Fieri. I went as him for Halloween one year, but competition shows are out. Flop, flop, flop.
I'm a celebrity lookalike. Of course, with these glasses on, I look like Techno. I'm a celebrity lookalike. Of course, I got the best ad libs. Mama! I'm a celebrity lookalike. Of course, when I'm out in public, people think they just see the Ghost of Takeoff.
Bill, my name is Kay Michelle. I have 3 #1 albums on Billboard. You can pull out your Google right now as you speak. No lie. I am Kay Michelle. I currently have 3 #1 albums on Billboard. I currently am here in Nashville. I have just got through sitting down with Mr. Chris Stapleton. You guys can pull it up. And I am a black girl. And guess what? I'm a black girl that sings better than any white motherfucking country singer in Nashville right now. And guess what? I have a ton of your favorite people behind me. So when I say I'm the next motherfucking Taylor Swift, it's not a motherfucking joke. It's the motherfucking truth. I'm black as shit. I listen to City Girls and I curse motherfuckers out. But guess what? I can play that motherfucking guitar.
Yes. Let's go. Yes.
We outside Milwaukee.
Milwaukee, where's you at?
Where's you at? We was outside tonight. It was crazy. Tweezy party, Adidas private party. Honestly, I was out here for an Adidas private party, and me and Tay performed. We performed Love For You, we performed Jump Off, we performed Quiet Storm, and whatever. Shout out to everyone.
Sources confirmed that the Breakfast Club will allegedly be getting dropped from 105.3 FM lineup in Atlanta, right? So y'all know the Breakfast Club is a syndicated a radio show, which means it's nationwide, right? When they come on, everybody hear them, but it's looking like a lot of places are starting to drop them from being in their area, right? This is Atlanta. We know that the Breakfast Club is all the way in New York. So to be a syndicated radio joint, that's huge, right? That's how the Breakfast Club got so big. But it's looking like, some places are starting to take them from that, right?
Nah, I'm about to play the clip, but this is the most nastiest response I've ever heard in my life. A lot of y'all are low-key Diddy out here, bro. I'm about to play the clip.
You better ask all 3 of my baby mamas, nigga. I done been right next door while they getting they back beat out, nigga, for $200 and $300, nigga.
So you got a BBL, you be robbing people for features, and now you be bragging about your girls getting greased for $200? You a bad human, bro. You a bad human, bro. Basically, NBA Youngboy and Finesse 2 Times beefing because NBA Youngboy caught them in his wife DM, him and Bots and Richie, allegedly. He posted their girlfriends, and then this guy said he'll sell his girlfriend to NBA Youngboy for $250K. NBA Youngboy responded by saying, nah. He said, you wild, you fake pimping out here, stop disrespecting my wife, basically. Personally, I'd have told Finesse 2 Times he won. Bruh, a bad human. Y'all rappers can't be real.
And that fucking song y'all got is not starting beef with us. This shit been brewing in a pot, now I'm heating up. I don't care what Cole think, that dot shit was weak as fuck. Champagne tripping, he is not fucking easing up. Nigga caught up top to see her top, want a piece of it up. Top, want a piece of it up. Top, want a piece of it up. Nah, pussy, now you on your own when you speaking up. You done roll deep to this, it's not fucking deep enough.
This is 1 hour ago.
Hey, man.
Let you DM my hoes, but got can't let you get on my songs. It was
let you DM my. Oh my God. This is real. It's real. It's real. It's real.
If we keeping it gangsters, when you see me, you check me. I ain't never want to be a nigga anyway, nigga. That's why while you had operation to make your nose smaller than your father knows. I don't follow because you sent the cease and desist to French Montana, nigga.
Drake must be hitting everybody women, everybody coming for cuz. But Rick Ross say Drake done got a nose, y'all. What y'all think? Dude, man, these niggas doing some weird shit.
All right, so look, I'm going to just keep it all the way funky for everybody out there in the world listening to Drake and Rick Ross and everybody else. Me personally, I feel like Rick Ross loaded up his gun. He sat back, he aimed it, and he shot, and he missed. Period, point blank. That's what I feel. I feel like Ross took his shot, and Ross missed, man. I mean, it's no other way to describe it for me. But I know a lot of people out there saying Ross ate, which he did. He ate on the track. But, come on now. Drizzy just dead it like 8 people, 10 people in one song. But still, this is the very beginning of something I hope is historic. I hope it has great vibes with it all the way to the end because, you know, we ain't trying to see no Biggie Pac type ish situation. But we are looking for some exciting bars.
I want y'all to sing this nigga part right here.
All I care about is money in the city that I'm from. I'ma sip until I feel it, I'ma smoke until it's done. I don't really give a fuck if my excuses that I'm young. And I'm only getting older, somebody should've told you.
Oh, it's such a beautiful day. Me waking up from a nap, I just realized BBL Drizzy called his mommy on me. He shared their text messages between each other. Cupcake Drake, tell your mama you stayed out past your curfew, white boy. You wanted to hang at the park with the niggas, smoke weed with the niggas while we washed our old school Chevys. White boy, you got a Chevy, white boy? I doubt it. But anyway, big nose. Boy, you had 25% body fat with a carved out 6-piece. Stop. We know what time it is. That shit costs 40 bands. Stop. But tell your mama, well, in Miami, we say old girl. Tell your old girl she a beautiful lady. I told you that before, and I meant that. But you tell your mama, white boy, you stayed out at the park too late. And you can't call her when you get in this shit.
Not letting them rig this election. Make it good and healthy. Can I have 30 milkshakes? And also some chicken, and we're going to take care of the customers. Here you go. Yes, sir. You can afford the first one. You know why? You did.
So today, Iran attacked Israel. Iran launched a swarm of 185 killer drones, 110 surface-to-surface missiles, and 36 cruise missiles at Israel, putting the whole country and the entire region on lockdown. This was the first time that Iran launched a direct attack against Israel from its own soil. But for decades, Iran has been building a ring of terror around Israel's borders. This is called Iran's terror proxy network, which includes jihadi terrorist groups like Hamas in Gaza, Hezbollah in Lebanon, the Houthis in Yemen, and other armed militias in Syria and in Iraq. Iran's multi-front war against Israel has been going on for decades, and the October 7th massacre was just a part of this larger war. Yet, brainwashed so-called activists around the world are trying to defend this attack, even this attack against Israel, and say that it was justified. They claim that Israel deserved this attack for eliminating Iran's most senior military figure in Syria, this guy by the name of Mohammad Reza Zahadi. He was involved in the planning of the October 7th massacre. But what you need to understand is this attack today was not an isolated event. It's a part of Iran's ongoing campaign to wipe Israel off the map and destabilize the entire Middle East in order to create this new power dynamic in the region. This is what they're after. Thanks to Israel's extraordinary air defense systems and her American and EU allies, the vast majority of the projectiles were intercepted before reaching Israel, resulting in limited damage. However, Iran's endless support of terrorism not only threatens Israel, it also threatens global security. From Gaza to Lebanon, Yemen to Syria, Iran's fingerprints are evident in countless conflicts around the world. It's time to take this threat seriously. It is time to dismantle Iran's terror networks and hold a regime accountable for his relentless pursuit of violence. And only then can we hope to see a safer, more peaceful world for future generations?
We start this afternoon with breaking news involving a former Trailblazer. Ben McLemore is in the Clackamas County Jail this afternoon on multiple charges, including rape and sexual abuse. His arraignment is scheduled for later today. McLemore was a top 10 pick in the 2013 NBA draft. He played for 5 different teams over the course of 9 seasons, including 2 seasons ago with the Blazers.
Police have just issued an arrest warrant for Rashee Rice. The Chiefs wide receiver now has less than 24 hours to turn himself in for his role in last month's multi-car crash.
All right, guys, I quickly want to talk about the Rashee Rice incident, which happened not too long ago. And he just turned himself into the cops, but was released on bond. I think $40,000 was his bond. I just want to say this is tragic. Like, typically, I hate on certain players that do stuff consistently. Guys like Antonio Brown, Travis Kelce, that should actually be in jail for a while. I think this was like a one-time deal. You know, he was racing or whatever. He's young. He got excited with the car, you know, fast cars and youth and money. And, you know, it was very unfortunate, right? Because he caused seriously bodily harm. And that's like a 3rd degree type offense in Texas, which you could get up to minimum of 2 years to 20 years in jail as a maximum sentence.
Dang, Nate Robinson says he doesn't have long to live if he can't get a kidney replacement.
Amy, let me tell you something. Tonight is game 81, am I correct? Today it'll be the most intense game 81 in NBA history all around the league, not just in Philadelphia. What's on the line for winning these games in pole position is something we haven't seen in the NBA. Look around, people.
Joel Embiid has his best shot to take the Sixers to the NBA Finals for the first time in 23 years. Here's why. To start the season, Embiid was on one of the most legendary runs we've ever seen, with games like his 70-piece back in January. But just 8 days later, he went out with a knee injury, and his status for the season was up in the air. The Sixers then went from being a top 4 seed to going 11-18 over the next 29 games and plummeted to the play-in. With that level of disintegration as a team, it might have been easy to shut down Embiid, losing the play-in, and call it a year. But quite the opposite has happened, and Embiid is back in action. After dropping 24 points in his return, Embiid's in a position that he's never been in, rested and rejuvenated. For the last 2 years, he's gone all out in the regular season, leading the league in scoring, hoping to win that MVP that he wanted so badly. And while he got that, by the time the playoffs rolled around, he was cooked and more injury prone than at any point in the regular season. Last year, he suffered a knee sprain in round 1 and never got back to full strength against the Celtics in round 2. The year before, he tore a ligament in his thumb, along with a freak orbital fracture, and in 2021, he had a small tear in his meniscus as well. In short, he hasn't had a healthy playoff run in years. But now, he has less wear and tear on his body than any star player in the league, and we know that a little rest can go a long way. Just look at LeBron in the bubble. After a 4-month hiatus, he came back more rejuvenated than ever in year 17 to average almost 28, 10, and 9 in the playoffs and lead the Lakers on a historic title run. Now, the Sixers aren't a 1 or a 2 seed, but they have the talent of one. With a win in the play-in and a potential matchup against the Bucks, this will be the ultimate opportunity for Embiid to show why he's the best player in the league when he has no injuries to worry about. And given the Bucks' inconsistencies, there's no reason they couldn't steal that series in 6 to 7 games. Once they get past round 1, their confidence will be at an all-time high, and a healthy Embiid would dominate either the Cavs or the Pacers, setting up a showdown to finally take down the Celtics in the conference finals. Embiid isn't a poor playoff performer, he just hasn't been able to stay healthy. With fresh legs and no excuses, he might just show us who runs the league and put all doubters to rest. Let's see what happens.
What the hell is going on in Milwaukee? For those who haven't been paying attention, the Bucks have been playing terribly. I made a video about them like 2 days ago, but they're playing so bad. I got to make another video about them because honestly, this is some dangerous territory that they're entering. Like, to lose is one thing, but the teams that they're losing to, like, there's just no excuse. Now, I get it. Dame missed some games. Giannis has missed some games, but you have to find ways to win these games. Even if you only win by 1 point, you have to win these close games. Now, I won't just go and, take the easy route and say it's all Doc Rivers' fault because they are playing worse since Doc Rivers has been there. Also, their schedule has gotten a little bit harder. People forget about that. But just the chemistry overall for this team, it's just not there. And that gets me thinking, what will this Bucks team look like come playoff time? Because look who they're losing to. They're losing to some of the worst teams in the NBA. Like, not even just like mediocre teams. Like, they're losing to the worst teams. And me personally, that's a bad omen going into the playoffs. Because you got to understand, playoffs is all about momentum, vibes, and they have none of that right now.
So finally back to some basketball after a week of Caitlin Clark and women's college basketball. But yeah. We didn't forget about the Bucks, because I told y'all Bucks fans, even before Adrian Griffin got fired, I mean, yeah, he was 30-13 with this team off the strength of Giannis and Damian Lillard. Really, Giannis. But ultimately, ironically, the same things that y'all struggled with last year with Damian Lillard, without Damian Lillard, are the same things that are kind of struggling with Damian Lillard. A lot of that has to do with the fact that Damian Lillard just doesn't look like the same dude from Portland. A lot of that has to do with the fact that, The coaching sucks. B, which plays a part in coaching, but Giannis isn't the best screen setter. And C, Damian Lillard cannot make plays out of the pick and roll at a high level, which is why the Bucks are 1-6 last 7 games. Not only are they 1-6, they've lost 3 straight to some of the worst teams in the NBA. Yes.
What a crazy night in the NBA. We had 15 games with all 30 teams playing and so much at stake. We're gonna go through every game, but let's start with those Lakers in Memphis playing a Grizzlies team with 13 guys on the injured list. With all those injuries for the Grizzlies and with what's at stake for the Lakers, it felt like the Lakers should cruise. But you know what we've said all season long with these Lakers, it wouldn't be a Laker game without some drama. Early on, not much drama. Lakers up by 10 in the second quarter, LeBron for 3 to put him up 13. But even with all their injuries, Memphis not going away. End of the first half, Memphis down by 3, Scottie Pippen Jr. Third quarter, more from Pippen Jr., a 3 this time, Memphis leads. This is why it's so tough to assume any game in the NBA today. Pippen Jr. catching fire, and now the Grizzlies have confidence, they're up by 5. Fourth quarter, Memphis down by 4, and how about the hustle from Pippen Jr. on the floor to LaRavia. 5:40 to go, Lakers up by 5. LeBron James says enough messing around. But these young Grizzlies not backing down from a challenge, especially Gigi Jackson. Memphis down by 4 in the fourth late, and Gigi for 3. In a pivotal game, the Lakers find themselves down by 1 under a minute, but LeBron gives them the lead. 10 seconds to go, rebound up for grabs, and here comes LeBron James to the rescue. LeBron with 37 points, Davis with 36 and 14. So the Lakers get a big win, another huge game in the West between Sacramento and Phoenix. Kings trying to hold on to the 8th seed. Not only are the Kings trying to hold on to the 8th seed, they can still move up in the standings. Early on, Sacramento playing like a team that knows what's at stake in this game. Keegan Murray for 3. And now here they go in transition. De'Aaron Fox to Domantas Sabonis. They're up 8. Third quarter, Kings up by 10 and they're rolling. Sabonis to Fox for 3. Sacramento playing some great basketball at this point. Sabonis the steal, and then he's going to find Keon Ellis for 2. Late in the third, Sabonis doing everything now, a 3-pointer for him. Fourth quarter though, Phoenix not backing down. Bradley Beal cutting it to 5. 7 minutes to go, Durant to Nurkic to cut it to 1. Kings up by 3, 6 minutes to go, De'Aaron Fox, like bumper cars inside, somehow gets it to go. A minute to go, Kings up by 4, and the defense of Bradley Beal, what a difference. Now we're all tied at 107 with 15 seconds to go. This was a huge play. Grayson Allen no good, but Sabonis fouls Nurkic, putting him at the free throw line. Nurkic makes 1 out of 2 to give the Kings the lead, and then Phoenix's defense, Bradley Beal and Devin Booker, the Suns escape.
Playoff zone, man, it's time. It's time. It's time to start playing defense. It's time to execute and take care of the ball on offense. It's time, man. We want to win the ring. It's time. It's time.
So the Suns take care of business in Golden State tonight, a huge game between the Pelicans and the Warriors. This one was a great game down the wire. If you want a full recap of this game, it's on my page, but Zion was amazing. So that takes care of the bottom of the West race. In terms of the top seed, Denver just needs a win to stay in first, but Victor Wembanyama had other ideas. This game may have been the craziest game of the day, in fact. This was nuts, and if you want the full recap, it's also on my page. Wemby is different, man. Staying in that crazy race to the 1 seed in the West, the return of Karl Anthony Towns tonight for the Timberwolves. Wolves doing battle with Atlanta, up by 9 in the second quarter. Here comes their defense. A steal and a slam for Cat. Third quarter, more Minnesota defense. Rudy Gobert the block on one end, and then on the other, it leads to a Mike Conley 3. But Trae Young and the Hawks not going away. A logo 3 from Trae. They're down by 2. Fourth quarter, all tied at 82. Trae Young with a runner 3. Minnesota down by 2 with 2.5 minutes to go. This is what they missed. Karl Anthony Towns. Minnesota up by 1 with under a minute to go. Anthony Edwards looking to hit a big time shot in a big moment. There he is. Hawks down by 3. Final chance. Vit Krejci misses, and the Wolves survive. So the Wolves survive. Now we're off to Oklahoma City, where the Thunder can still get the 1 seed in the West. Chet with the block. Lou Dort with the 3. Bucks without Giannis and without Dame tonight, so that means it's going to be a big night for Chris Middleton. What a three-pointer there. The Thunder would end up cruising in this one 125-107 over the Bucks, and with that win, the Thunder are now the number 1 seed in the West. So we covered a lot of the major points in the West. Now we go to the East where the Knicks can get the 2 seed, but they're down 11-0 to the Nets. Just because the Nets are eliminated doesn't mean Cam Thomas is sick of getting buckets. He is a bucket getter. End of the first quarter, more from Cam Thomas, beating the buzzer all the way with the left. Knicks with a very slow start, but in the third quarter, here they come. Jalen Brunson, the and 1. Now OG Anunoby doing what he does, a defensive menace, the steal and the reverse. OG playing defense, now Jalen finding him in the corner for 3. He already knew this, but they're a much different team with a healthy OG Anunoby. Fourth quarter, Nets down by 5, a minute to go. Cam Thomas relentless. But on the other end, Jalen Brunson says not tonight. A huge win for the Knicks in hopes for their 2 seed. So the Knicks get a win. Huge game in Philly tonight between the Sixers and the Magic. Check out that pass by Embiid. Sixers on a roll in this first quarter thanks to Joel. The game and the season almost shifted in the second quarter for the Sixers as Embiid came up limping and he would momentarily leave the game. Thankfully though, he comes right back in the third quarter and immediately hits a 3. Still in the third quarter, how about the hustle for Nick Batum, keeping it alive for Buddy Hield. Late in the fourth, Philly up by 8, looking for a huge win, and the final touches on this one. Maxey down the lane and 1. 32, 13, and 7 for Joel Embiid, and 7 in a row for Philadelphia. Staying in that Eastern Conference playoff race, another huge game tonight in Cleveland between the Cavs and the Pacers. Final seconds of the first quarter, Cleveland up by 6. There's Spida Mitchell setting the tone. Second quarter, Indiana working their way back. Check out this play from Miles Turner. My goodness. Third quarter, more Donovan Mitchell finished his night with 33 points. There's that push, cross, and layup. Indiana, though, only down by 5 late in the third. Here's Obi Toppin. Cleveland up by 3. Fourth quarter, midway through the fourth. Mitchell no good, but Jarrett Allen there. Indiana down by 4 with 2:09 to go. Siakam with the drive, and it's a 2-point game. 2-point Cavs lead, 55 seconds to go. The biggest basket of the night. Darius Garland. So Cleveland survives and wins against Indiana, and they've officially clinched their ticket to the playoffs. Miami hosting Toronto tonight, also with playoff implications. Check out this layup from Kevin Love in the first quarter. This one not exactly a challenge for the Heat. Here they are on defense. Jaime Jaquez leading the break. He finished with 20 points and 9 dimes. And now once again Jaquez with the dime. This one to Bam for 3. The Heat take care of business 125-103. The rest of the game did not have playoff implications. We're going to go through them in a hurry. Peyton Pritchard, what a game for him. A career high in points for Pritchard tonight, 31 points and 11 assists, and even without their starters, the Celtics dominate the Hornets. Bulls and Wizards tonight from DC, the story of the game, Adama Sanogo. The Bulls get the win 129-127. Sanogo with 22 points and 20 rebounds, and with the injury to Andre Drummond, expect him to get minutes going forward. No Luka, no Kyrie for the Mavs tonight. They're resting them for the postseason. Jaden Ivey and the Pistons dominate. Marcus Sasser leading the way with 24 points as the Pistons win by 18 in Dallas. That means the Clippers will be at home for Game 1 against the Mavericks. Tonight they're resting a lot of their stars as they play the Jazz. The Jazz get the win, and once again, Kenny Lofton Jr. showing that he can play in this league. He continues to do this in the NBA. Here's an and 1 late in the fourth. Jazz beat the Clippers 110-109, and Kenny Lofton 27, 9, and 8. And finally, the Houston Rockets take care of business tonight in Portland 116-107. For the young Rockets, even though they missed the playoffs, they now have 40 wins, tying the record for the most wins ever by an 11 seed. And the Blazers may have lost tonight, but shout out to Scoot, 30 points, 7 assists, 5 boards. Be patient with the young man. Quick standings update as we approach the last day of the season. The race to the 1 seed is gonna be nuts. The Pelicans and the Suns are gonna finish 6 and 7 in some order. And then 8, 9, and 10, Lakers, Kings, and Warriors. In the East, we now have a tie between the Bucks and the Knicks for the 2 seed. Cleveland a game back, and a 3-way tie between Orlando, Indiana, and Philly, 5, 6, and 7. Sunday is going to be a movie.
Let's go. Welcome to the main event. Applying pressure, but I promise I ain't make it then. In their heads, living free, I ain't paying rent. Wake up in the AM, making G's like Mercedes-Benz. Whoa, yeah, please don't take offense. It isn't you.
Well, I'm still on oral chemotherapy. It's a medication that I'm going to have to remain on my entire life, most likely. So yeah, that's just a part of my personal battle. It doesn't affect, thank God, I'm still able to perform.
Could WWE's power couple be heading out the door for good? Both Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins are scheduled to take a hiatus from WWE as they look to sign a new contract. Rumors are circulating stating that Seth Rollins is expected to be away from the company for 3 to 4 weeks, while Becky will be gone for the unforeseen future. If for some reason a deal can't get done, what's stopping Seth Rollins or Becky Lynch from walking away? Both superstars have done everything there is to do in WWE, and they were arguably just a part of the biggest WrestleMania of all time. Now, obviously, Seth and Becky are married, so I doubt one comes back without the other, but you never know. WWE has a lot of superstars currently working on an expiring contract, so there's no guarantee that Rollins or Lynch can come to an agreement with WWE on a new deal. So, do you think Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch get a new deal? Or is it possible these superstars have wrestled their last match in the WWE?
Stone Cold Steve Austin has refused to appear at the WrestleMania Championship match. Many fans were disappointed that Stone Cold didn't appear at the finale of WrestleMania. Near the end of the finale, many wrestlers like John Cena and The Rock appeared, and people expected Stone Cold to join them. Instead, The Undertaker made an appearance. This disappointed many fans because people thought that if Stone Cold Steve appeared instead of The Undertaker, then it would have made this one of the greatest moments in WWE history. This generated a lot of controversy and even trended worldwide on social media because of the sheer amount of people who were disappointed that he didn't show up. And now, an industry source has spoken up on the real reason why Stone Cold didn't make an appearance. In their statement, a source close to Steve and WWE said they really wanted Stone Cold to make an appearance. They were banking on it. They tried everything in their power to get him there, but they couldn't do it. It was a mixture of budgeting problems and Stone Cold wanting to spend time with his loved ones. The amount of money they offered him wasn't enough to make him budge, so ultimately, his appearance never happened. So there we have it. It seems that they didn't want to offer him any more money, and that's why he didn't make an appearance. Strangely, they managed to get John Cena and The Rock there, who would have commanded a much higher fee than Steve. So maybe the WWE bosses simply didn't think he was worth the same amount of money as they were paying other stars. Fans on social media have all been discussing Stone Cold's absence. One fan said, "Let's be honest, Stone Cold is past his prime. Would it have been epic? Sure. But would it have been the match of the night? Nope. Cena and The Rock are still draws. That's where the money makes sense. Maybe it's a blessing in disguise. We all want the old legends, but the new guys gotta shine sometime." Another fan said, "What a tease. They built up the hype with all those returns, made it seem like Stone Cold was the last piece of the puzzle. Then bam, Undertaker. Don't get me wrong, I love Taker, but Stone Cold would have blown the roof off. Now I feel cheated." And finally, one more fan said, "It hurts, but maybe this is a sign. Stone Cold's WrestleMania run was legendary. If he didn't come back this year, maybe it means his story has the perfect ending already. No need to force it for a paycheck. The memories are enough." For this video's comment question, should Stone Cold Steve have made an appearance?
You know something is special when there's only ever been 10 in the entire world. The Red Diamond Award. 100 million subscribers to our YouTube channel. You don't see something like this every day. It's an incredible honor. On behalf of all of us at WWE, I want to thank our talent. I want to thank our crew and our staff and all the people behind the scenes that you don't get to see on TV every single week for this. But more importantly than anything else, I want to thank the WWE Universe, all of you, everybody that's out there that just can't get enough WWE. This is for you. Thank you. It's actually pretty awesome.
Fun fact, I can also eat 2 cheeseburgers at once. Let's go.
Meet the husband and wife running Disney World's first black-owned food truck.
People always want to know what the hot trend color is, but it's not the only way to look at color. Every year, Sherwin-Williams celebrates the color of the year. This year, we'll be the first brand to celebrate our least popular yet still beautiful color, Kingdom Gold.
Rediscovering the beauty of color means going to the essence of what something is and what it looks like. When you bring the Sherwin-Williams Kingdom Gold to life, that's when people get a chance to really see the power of the Kingdom Gold.
Yeah, if y'all don't know Jabril McCullum, y'all better get to know Jabril McCullum. Y'all look at my baby, y'all. She is on TV.
I'm a little busy right now, okay?
You're coloring the carrot.
Go take a seat for me, okay? So, after the teacher's panel, thanks for letting me know.
Like, my baby is really on TV, y'all. Like, look at this. She is definitely a natural born. Like, look at her. She was so happy, y'all, to be on Abbott Elementary. Look at all the comments. I love y'all. If you haven't watched episode 9, y'all better go see it because your girl Jabril is up in it. She love her fans, y'all.
Act up, and she snatched up a fortune.
It was major.
When Mackenzie Scott divorced Jeff Bezos in 2019, she got a piece of that Amazon empire, $37 billion worth. But it's what she's been doing with her money that's making headlines.
We were awarded $2 million. I was screaming, I was hollering, I was crying.
Hundreds of millions of dollars.
We're still in disbelief.
Given away to nonprofits in our own backyards, from Atlanta to Philly, Boston to Cali.
We are way down here in the projects. They are not even going to see us.
The projects were not left behind. The black organizations that Mackenzie Scott chose for those $1 million payouts, what they did to get it, and how the money is shaking up lives.
This money belongs to the community.
I'm Justin Carter. TSR News starts right now.
Guess what? Auntie Tab is back at Target, and she's going to be there for good. Starting Sunday, April 7th, she's going to roll out her food and beverages, and I hope that they bring these 3 back. The garlic seasoned burger patties were seasoned to perfection. Next, the popcorn. I was only able to try 2 because they kept on selling out. And lastly, the pizza ravioli. They were so good. The inside was creamy like it had cream cheese in it. Are you going to be at Target in the morning?
Oh my god, it's finally happening. Ed Dwight is going to outer space. He started training to go to space over 60 years ago. Let me start from the beginning. Ed Dwight grew up in a racially segregated Kansas, and he signed up for the Air Force in 1953, where he became a pilot and simultaneously got his aeronautical engineering degree, graduating cum laude. And then in 1961, the Kennedy administration chose Ed as the first, and at that time only, African-American astronaut trainee. So he proceeded to the Air Force Test Pilot School. And again, he was the only African-American trainee in the entire class, and he wasn't selected to be an astronaut. And obviously not because he wasn't highly qualified and trained. And then he quit the Air Force, saying that racial politics had forced him out of NASA. And shortly after, 12 white men went to walk on the moon. And it wasn't until 22 years after Ed's selection that the first African-American flew to space, Guy Bluford. Ed never got to go to space, but he continued doing engineering, got involved in real estate, became a highly successful sculptor, and opened a barbecue restaurant. But now, this month, Blue Origin is sending Ed Dwight to space at 90 years old. I am so happy for him. I couldn't cover it all. Read his autobiography. This is awesome.
If you had to pick an artist to get the Abbott or Mamma Mia treatment, who would it be? If Prince was on your list, feel free to rejoice. Ryan Coogler is producing a jukebox musical with all music by Prince. And the script is being written by Brian Edward Hill, who has worked on the TV series Titans and Ash vs. Evil Dead.
TikTok, you'll seen this. Hold on, let me pitch myself down to a little guy. Picture this. A young Jaleel White stepping onto the set of Family Matters, ready to bring to life the iconic Steve Urkel. It wasn't all laughs and catchphrases though. The journey of a child actor is filled with challenges. Jaleel had to juggle school, work, and the pressures of fame, all while trying to stay grounded. Looking back, he acknowledges the trials he faced, a testament to his resilience in an industry that has been rumored to prey on child stars, giving us a glimpse into the life of a child actor, as told by Jaleel White. We can't wait for his book release. But wait, there's more to this story. Let's talk about the unsung heroes, the involved parents. In his tell-all book, Growing Up Urkel, Jaleel White sings praises for his mother, a strong black woman. She prioritized his well-being over the glitz and glamour of fame that other child parents craved. In the cutthroat world of entertainment, parents play a crucial role as guides and protectors for their child star. So, remember, Behind every successful black child actor, there is a guiding, protective, strong black parent.
A teacher that promised his class in 1978 that they'd watch the solar eclipse together has fulfilled that promise 46 years later, and the event ended up being much more emotional for him than he ever anticipated. In 1978, Pat Moriarty was in his first year teaching junior high school science in Webster, New York. After a lesson on eclipses, he told his class that the next time their town was in the path of a total solar eclipse, he'd host a watch party for all of them. He said that his students looked at him like he was crazy at the time, because the next time that the area would experience a total solar eclipse was in 2024, nearly half a century away. Still, Mr. Moriarty continued to invite every single class each year to his future watch party. At the time, he told them that he'd publish an announcement about it in the newspaper, unless there was a better way to reach people by the time 2024 rolled around. He ended up organizing it on social media, and he hoped that just a couple passionate former students might show up. But to his complete surprise, over 100 actually came, equipped with lawn chairs, champagne, and their old yearbooks. Former students traveled from all over the country to attend, and Mr. Moriarty says that the eclipse itself ended up taking a back seat to what this was really all about, and that seeing everyone come together was even more impactful than the rare phenomenon in the sky.
So it looks like Summer Walker has officially moved on from Meech. If y'all don't remember, a few months ago, Meech and Summer had a whole bunch of drama going on. That's where that whole "I can't help my cousin bring the groceries in the house" come from. Yeah, that drama. But now, Summer is posted up with a new man. And it's not Meech, and it's not her baby daddy. I don't know her new man's name, but he made a birthday post to Summer Walker for her 28th birthday and said, "Happy B-Day to the love of my life. I love you more than life itself." The love of my life is crazy. Maybe they've been involved for a while, or maybe he's just whipped.
Actually cool, you may see my bowling ball head in what you just watched. I'll do some introductions really quick. We have lots and lots of questions. So we have Kate Taylor, senior correspondent of Business Insider. We have Brian Hearn from All That. We have Giovanni Samuels from All That. We have Drake Bell from Drake and Josh. Emma Schwartz, co-executive producer and director. And Mary Robertson, executive producer and director. From Clock Theater. Hi Kate, let's start with you. The genesis of Quiet on Set was your reporting of Business Insider in 2022. So what made you want to investigate this?
Yeah, something that I think really stood out to me on this was there had been all these rumors and conversation online for quite some time, and I think often with those it's easy to think like this is an open secret, but I was really interested in hearing from people and kind of being able to elevate people's voices who actually experience these things and could kind of distinguish rumors from actual fact, and that was what started kind of what would become an investigation, which would become what you guys just saw.
Yeah.
Wow, I was not ready for this one. Ice Spice will be in a Spike Lee movie starring Denzel Washington. Denzel Washington. So the movie is called High and Low. This will be a reinterpretation of the 1963 movie High and Low that was produced by Akira Kurosawa. I think I said it right. Now, according to Rolling Stone, this will be a crime thriller movie similar to the one that was made back in the day, and this will be partnered by Apple TV and A24. A24 have been producing a lot of movies lately, and they have been good. And this is already being filmed, so of course I don't have a release date, but it will be released in theaters first, then on Apple TV.
Welcome back to the show. Always such a fun time here in Ko-Olina. In fact, look who's joining us on the beach. A national treasure, Vanna White, everyone. So I know you've been watching since the beginning of Idol. Are you enjoying tonight?
I am so enjoying this. There's so many talented people here. I cannot believe it. It's so much fun.
I'm so excited to get to work with you, and I thought maybe we could work together right now. So would you like to help me with the next finalist introduction?
Absolutely.
Okay, go for it.
Ready?
Yeah. Aji, take it away.
Female rap history to, I think, as of today, with how many sold out shows, and how much, you know, how many shows that have grossed over $2 million.
Nobody's gonna know. Nobody's gonna know. They're gonna know. How would they know? How would they know? How would they know? I can.
Do I put up with the game? I keep thinking that you change. Same old thing. Why? You be lying to my face when we get to touching. I lose focus. You do something to me. Why do I keep on coming back when I know you hurt me back? Gotta break the cycle. Tell me why. It's hard to see the truth that you're no good for me. Somebody tell me why.
Keep on putting up with basics. Keep on falling for the same shit. Why do I keep on contemplating leaving you? Don't want no one else to ask.
Look, I don't look like what I've been through, amen. When I ain't have outside money, I stayed in. When hard times showed up, I could've caved in. But mama didn't raise a loser, I played to win. I've been through a lot of drama, but it never broke me. Now I'm happier than ever, ask the ones who know me. People swear they be so loyal, I just tell them show me. Sometime they in, sometime they out, this ain't hokey pokey. Smiling from the inside, I be glowing. Had to learn to trust my gut, I be knowing. Don't poke no bad vibes around me, I be towing. Did my harvest from the seeds I've been sowing.
It's the same God, different day. Whether hidden in the hills or the hood around the way. If you focus on the good, trying to get it, I'm delayed. Say, hey, I'm not giving up, I'm happy. Ain't up for discussion, don't add me. All that negativity won't pass me. We going high tonight, up to the sky tonight. I'm not giving up, I'm happy.
Such big feelings, can't shut them down without a sound. I have such big feelings, can't shut them down or let them out. I know I'm not fine, but yes, I say I'm fine. I know I'm not fine, but yes, I say
Love that.
Hey everybody, can we pray real quick?
If we're needing to get more than one person here, let's get it. So we don't have to come back.
We also have song covers to come back to, and
we can do that very end.
I need to be in the
2 and 1. Nice. 3.
That's the crazy part.
Just come back that all with
Sorry. You know I will love you.
What is this, your left side?
Go team, go on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Go team, go.
The year 2024. These three icons come together to show you something you've never seen before.
Something not right. I know what it is. This is not Earth. Whew.
I'm gonna figure this
I can't
out
breathe.
now. Oh shit. I done bust the wrong turn at Mars real quick.
Said I can't breathe. I think I'm gonna faint. You're not about to faint. That corset is so tight. Let me call Tim, because I ain't even playing with y'all. Tim,
Yo, Missy, where you at?
you made a wrong turn.
There will be no tour like it.
After Santiago takes a picture of a deceased senator, he begins to experience strange physical symptoms. I'm the Real Voice and Disappear Completely follows Santiago as he takes pictures of the dead. No matter if they met their end through foul play or accidents, even if the deaths are absolutely gruesome, Santiago bribes his way onto the scene. After he edits the photos to make them look what he considers better, but what we would consider worse, he sells them for a profit to newspapers. He finally photographs someone who didn't want to be seen, and now he's slowly but surely paying the price. Disappear Completely is a mystery mixed with hints of horror and supernatural elements. With its brooding camera work, you feel like you're a stalker at times, and the eerie sound mixing and lack thereof makes this movie truly engrossing. This is something psychological horror fans will truly enjoy. If you're superstitious, this film may even strike a nerve. If you've seen Disappear Completely, let me know what you think in the comments. And if you haven't seen it, it's on Netflix this Friday. I'm The Real Voice. Give me a like and follow, and I'll see you next time.
What if I told you imaginary friends are real? And when their kids grow up, they're forgotten.
Are any of them scary?
Worse. Desperate.
Question, why did these kids forget about us in the first place?
Last week, I just started falling apart.
You're sucking the oxygen out of the room.
Honestly, Doc, if this is how it's gonna be, I'm just gonna wheel myself back and plug in.
We've started a matchmaking agency to help IFs find new kids. Or we just disappear. Blue. Happy place, happy place.
Coffee and croissants. Coffee and croissants.
I can help you.
How?
Because I'm a kid.
You are the chosen one. Nope. Let's not give her a complex.
Good luck, short stack. It's all up to you.
No pressure.
Hook and dagger! Hope this works.
All right, let's find these ifs and kids.
Chief!
What kind of a kid creates an invisible if?
I can find anyone. Anywhere.
You got him enough.
Thanks for doing this.
Don't look him in the eye.
Which one?
Yeah, that's gonna grow right back.
Am I disappearing? Oh! All right, I'm not ready for this. I need to throw up, or I need a snack. It's one of the two.
Gross.
You have to help them.
Yes, we do. I'm not gonna ask you again. Put some pants on. You're freaking everyone out.
How'd it go? Oh my God.
Does this make us partners?
Let's not get ahead of ourselves, shall we? Keith!
And Mom said too much candy isn't good for your tummy, but I said, oh my God.
Wow, my eyes can taste it.
I'm so sorry.
You don't taste that in your eyeballs?
Let's go, boys. It's showtime. Wakey, wakey.
Hey, Fleck, you got a joke for us today?
We use music to make us whole, to balance the fractures within ourselves.
I'm nobody. I haven't done anything with my life like you have. Let's get out of here.
What the world needs now is a love, sweet love. It's the only thing that there's just too little of. What the world needs now
What's changed, Arthur?
I'll tell you what's changed. I'm not alone anymore. That's what we should be talking about.